Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode in Gills in the Blood TV and what is a midweek match day review. Really pleased to say that these shorter format match day reviews have been going really well, so I do appreciate the support on all of them. So yeah, going to try and get these out now on the night of a game. I'm recording this literally 10 minutes after the full-time whistle at the Bescott Stadium, where the Gillingham team have, do not adjust your sets, picked up a very, very impressive and valuable point on the road against the league leaders Walsall in a game that I think was the very definition of two halves. First period, drab, dull, bitty, nothing really in the way of clear-cut chances. I think their keeper had to fall on one and Glenn Morris had a very quiet 45 minutes. But the second half really sprang to life and yeah, that was really good fun. That was entertainment and that was Gillingham playing on the front foot for large portions, and it was the most fun I've had watching us play football in a couple of months. So fair play to every single player that was involved, from those that started and those that came on from the bench to see us over the line and pick up, like I say, what is a very valuable and impressive draw. We'll go back to 6:45 though and team news, and I think we was all watching with slightly bated breath given John Coleman's comments after Barrow, where he spoke of players unable to run through a cardboard wall, let alone a brick one, players that didn't care, the gloves being off and sanctions being sent out. So it was a bit of a surprise, I'm not going to lie, when there was just a trio of changes. Out came Shadogi, Bradley Dack and Aisha Agbanoni. I think Agbanoni may have been injured. And the trio replacing them was Ramo Hutton, Max Clark and Dominic Corness making his full debut as we reverted to a 3-4-1-2 system. So it was Glenn Morris in goal, a back three of Smith, Ema and Gale. It was then Hutton, McKenzie, the new captain on the pitch at least, Armani Little and Max Clark as a four. We then had Corness supporting a front two of Joe Bode and Elliot Nevitt. Yeah, only two changes to the entire 18 as well. So I was a little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie. It was never going to be one that was any middle ground. It was either going to be that John Coleman was a genius for basically telling the same group of players to go and dig themselves out of the hole that they'd got themselves into on Saturday, or if we got beat, people would then level accusations at him of, well, it's just a lot of hot air and a lot of fluff, and you've only got yourself to blame, John, in that sense, because if he does what he does and we don't play as we have, then obviously there's going to be criticism levelled at John Coleman. But fair play to John and fair play to the players. Yeah, just 8 goals in the starting 11, which is a sign of the times, isn't it? We know that, but that's, you know, that's just something we have to live with at the moment. We've got these players until the end of the season and we've got to back them. I said that on social media earlier today in a post off the back of the Q&A that the ME7 hosted really well with Managing Director Joe Comper and owner Brad Gallinson. But yeah, I felt in terms of the shape and the personnel, it was good enough. It was decent. It was square pegs in square holes. People in their more natural positions. So yeah, that was what we rolled with. Like I've said, first half, much of a muchness, wasn't it? Not a lot really happened. Thought we were fine. Considering, you know, the relative positions of the two sides. I know Walsall have not been in the greatest form recently, but they're still top and we're 19th. And our record at their ground is pretty abysmal, even when we're in decent form, let alone when we've been playing as we have for the last 2 months or so. I thought we looked balanced in our shape. We looked compact. We looked resolute. Anything that came into our box, we dealt with fairly comfortably. There was a couple of slice clearances from corners where Walsall had a spell of 5 in a row in a matter of about 2 minutes midway through the period. But I thought that was a sign of how we were going about our business. Each time someone made a block or made a clearance, you could see straight away the new captain, Armani Little, was round their players, you know, a slap on the back or a fist bump and, you know, gesturing, come on, keep doing the same thing, dig in, dig in. I think if that had been a couple of weeks ago, and this isn't me on Maxima, this is just the fact that I think we got a reaction from the entire group, Max included. I think we'd probably go under if we was under that amount of pressure consistently from set plays and corners. But we didn't sink. And you earn your luck, don't you, in terms of the slice clearances. On another day, they end up in the back of our net as an own goal, but they didn't. They went behind and then we dealt with things again. I thought going forward, we were more incisive and decisive with the football. We knew when to mix it up. We knew when to try and play triangles, which I thought we did really well. Lost count of the amount of times that people like Little and Max Clark linked up and Joe Bode or Nevitt would drift out to the left and link up play as well. But we also knew when we had to go back to front a bit quicker and be a bit longer with the ball, try and turn them round, their back three, because we matched them up, didn't we, in terms of the system. I've not looked at their side. This is about us tonight and what we did really well. I thought the delivery from the likes of Max Clark and Romeo Hutton and Armani Little was good from wide areas and set plays, free kicks, that type of thing. There was half chances for Max Ema, a little flick header. He's trying to just get it into a dangerous area. It ran through to their keeper. Joe Bode, another one, wins the first contact, but I think it sort of hits the head of the defender as well and takes all the power off of it. But there was encouraging signs. Really clever short free kick from Little for one chance that Hutton whipped into a dangerous area. Another one from Max Clark where he sort of feinted to play it into the box and played it in the channel. I think if Elliot Nevitt's playing with confidence, he probably just lets it run across his body and hits it first time with his left foot. But he doesn't. He has a touch and it gets blocked and the danger passed. But it was good to see that we were mixing it up. We were trying different things. I thought our best player first half, though, was Dominic Corness. I was really impressed with him. I wasn't sure whether he was going to sit next to Robbie McKenzie and Armani Little would be the further forward, or it was going to be Robbie and Armani, which has been a decent pairing, certainly at the start of the season, and that's what it was. Dom played further forward in the hole, and yeah, I thought he was really bright. I thought he knew when to press, he knew when to sit and drop off and get back into his shape. He was willing to put his foot in. He was aggressive with and without the ball. He was brave with it. Played a couple of nice one-touch balls round the corner to get us moving in the right direction. And I was fairly pleased. The commentator on Sky Sports said that you know, both sets of fans would be disappointed. I think Walsall fans would be disappointed based on league position, but I thought after what we saw on Saturday and what we've seen for a long time, that was a really, really encouraging 45 minutes. Of course, we then had to go and build on it second period. But it wouldn't be Gillingham, would it, without us making it difficult for ourselves. The goal has a huge element of luck, don't get me wrong. Jamil Matt knows absolutely nothing about it when it sort of hits him on the thigh and wrong foots Glenn Morris. But I think the bit before, and I might be nitpicking a little bit tonight because I thought he had a good game on the whole, Max Clark, but I think he's got to show his man down the line there. And then if the ball comes into our box, we've got three centre-halves that can edit or clear it. We've got a keeper that can come and punch or catch it. We create our own problems when Max allows the man in onto his left foot. So Snapshot doesn't catch it at all well, but when it rains it pours, doesn't it? And when you're struggling, everything seems to be going against you, and that's what happens. It hits Matt on the thigh. Glenn Morris has got no chance. He's onside, sadly, and at that point you're thinking, right, how do we react? Are we going to sink or swim? We know our record this season when conceding the first goal. At kick-off, it was 1 point earned from about 11 games conceding first. That was against Tranmere, which we've already spoken about. And then you just thought for a few minutes we was going to wobble. Maxima gave away a cheap free kick. Wall did its job, though. And then we sprung to life, and there was a half chance for Elliot Nevitt, and it's a really good ball in from Romeo Hutton, who I thought was decent on the night as well. And I've been a big critic of Romeo, but I thought he got better and better as the game went on. Again, unfortunately, Nevitt, it's the header of a man that's not playing with confidence. It's the header of a man that's not scored since September. It's the header of a man who's only got one goal in the league, and it doesn't really get a proper connection. It drifts wide of the far post. But credit Elliot, he's getting into the right areas. He's not shirking his responsibility. He's not hiding behind his centre-back. He's trying to get on the end of it. Then there was something that impressed me even more than any football that we played, and that was, I think, Romeo Hutton and Joe Bode. And Hutton brought the ball out from defence, and then there's a little bit of afters after a challenge on the byline. He gets up, gives their player a shove, he gets one back. Joe Bode straight in there, pulling their player away, and I thought, lovely stuff. We haven't seen enough of this in recent weeks. We've not seen people, and I've spoke about playing for the name, playing for the shirt on the badge on the front of the shirt rather than the name on the back, and I thought we got that. So that was really impressive for me. We were backing each other up, we were protecting our own and that type of thing. Then there was a period where the game was drifting. I thought Dom Corness looked like he was tiring. I thought Joe Bode probably was carrying a bit of a knock. We know he went down for treatment first period. Something to do with his groin, it looked like, but he managed to soldier on. And I was thinking, get people on. You know, you've got a bench, use it. You've got the lad Morgan from Chelsea. You've got Jaden Clark, top scorer. You've got Daki. Can we get 20 minutes out of him? You've got Ollie Hawkins. Can we get it and play off of him? Go direct. Keep the ball away from our goal, which I spoke about at the weekend. When you're not playing well, you don't want the ball near your goal. So then you can go and you can hit Ollie, you can hit Elliot Nevitt and play from there. And then Robbie McKenzie took the game into his own hands, didn't he? And oh my word, If I could swear, I would. But what a hit from Robbie McKenzie. I mean, he's definitely player of the year for me at the moment. He's probably just one goal of the season as well. There's a ridiculous hit. Gets the ball, 30, 35 yards out, touch out of his feet, looks up, crashes it in off the underside of the crossbar. So pleased for those Gills fans that it was down the end where they were housed in the corner as well. And great to see players and fans celebrating together. You know, it's Sam Gale right in amongst the supporters and that. Fans piling down to the front in front of the hoardings. It was great to see. So fair play to every single one of them, because there was a lot of them that probably went to Barrow on Saturday and were probably thinking, what am I doing travelling to Walsall on a Tuesday night? Arriving probably with hope more than expectation. But it's a wonderful hit from Robbie McKenzie, and that got us level, didn't it? And then it's, do we stick? Do we twist? Do we go and try and win the game? Do we sit back and try and hold what we've got? Because a point wouldn't be a bad result against a side that's, you know, at the summit at the moment and look like they're going to get promoted into League One. A couple of changes then came, which I was pleased with. It just looked like we had a few running on fumes. So Joe Bode came off, Dom Corness came off, who were both decent in terms of work rate and willingness to put themselves about. They used the ball well. They were replaced with Ollie Hawkins in a straight swap and Jack Nolan. So Jack went into the 10 and we had two big fellas up front, which I liked. Goes back to my point about we can play long, we can play direct, and then we can go from there. Competing for every ball, we're backing each other up, like the instance with Hutton and Joe Bode. It felt like a team performance, didn't it? It felt like a Gillingham performance rather than a performance of a bunch of individuals. And that's something that I think everybody's levelled at this team over recent weeks. It's been horrible. It's not been fun, and we know that. Playing with an urgency, playing to win, I think is the key thing as well. That's what it looked like. There's something changed tonight, and we went, right, we're going to get it down. We're going to play. We're going to work the ball. We're going to make sure that they're stretched and they come out of their comfort zone. There's chances for Hawkins, isn't there, and Little blocked, half shouts for penalties. Jack Nolan and Ramo Hutton linked up like we see at the beginning of the season, which was great to see. We made one more change, straight swap again. That was Elliot Nevitt, who'd run himself to a standstill. In fairness, he was replaced by Jimmy J Morgan. So it was no change to the shape. We were still trying to win the football match. It's another half chance for Ollie Hawkins, isn't it? That gets blocked again. Jack Nolan has a shot blocked by a defender. Ramo Hutton curls one just over the bar. It's probably too much to ask for 2 goal of the season contenders in one night, isn't it? And then we had our bit of luck. But I think we earned our bit of luck, didn't we? There was one ball down the middle and Danny Johnson threatens to get away. Knows what he's got to do. He clips it over Glenn Morris, but luckily it clears the crossbar as well. And at that point, I'm starting to think, right, yeah, we'll take the point now. It's a good point. I spoke about a losing point at Tranmere a couple of weeks ago. This feels like a winning point, doesn't it? It feels like something we can build on. It feels like something we can work with. And this has to be the bar now. Like, it wasn't flawless, don't get me wrong. I think we can do better with the goal. But it's certainly something that we can use as a springboard to try and push on and, first and foremost, get to about 46 points. And then anything else, I think, will be a bonus given the run we've been on. But yeah, all in all, I tweeted straight after full time and said that is what a Gillingham performance looks like. So credit to every single one of them that played tonight. I think it was 14 or 15, including the substitutes, to a man. I thought they were absolutely superb. I thought Max Amar marshalled 2 young centre-halves alongside him really well. I think he just played with... He looked like a man that was playing with a weight lifted to me, Max, tonight, without the armband. And he was able just to concentrate on being Maxima, the centre-half. And I thought he was really impressive, as were Andy Smith and Sam Gale. I'm not saying Glenn Morris has not had loads to do. He's not had to make a save all evening. That's how good we were. I spoke about Corness at half-time, thought he was really good but tired, and that's understandable. He'll get stronger the more minutes he gets. Thought the front two harried and hassled entire game. Armani Little, like I've already mentioned, in terms of leadership, was brilliant in terms of just getting in and around players, you know, telling them they can do this better, but equally saying, come on, you're doing well. Like we've already mentioned, a high five here and a fist bump there. It all works, doesn't it? It all just keeps the belief up. I thought the substitutes all played their part. Jack Nolan looked bright when he came on. And one of my, you know, biggest bugbears over the recent weeks has been Jack Nolan and Ramo Hutton. And I've questioned their integrity, their attitude and their performance levels. I thought both were superb this evening. Jack from the bench wanted to make things happen. looked like the Jack Nolan that we thought we'd signed. I thought Remote Hutton got better and better as the 90 minutes wore on, and that's the right back we want to see, isn't he? He's getting beyond his man. He's getting balls into the box. He's not afraid to shoot. He's crossing with his right foot. He's crossing with his left foot. Everything felt like it was a little bit on instinct tonight, rather than people panicking or having an extra touch and taking too long with the ball. But man of the match for me was Robbie McKenzie, not just because of the goal. I know I sound like the sponsors man of the match now at home games, but I thought Robbie McKenzie's performance in the middle of the park was superb. And then to smash that one in off the crossbar was the icing on the cake for Robbie, wasn't it? So yeah, he'd be my man of the match. And to be fair to him, I'd probably say after that, Remote Hutton or Maxima, I thought were both really, really good this evening. And I've been critical of both. So fair play to them. Fair play to everyone. Fair play to John Coleman. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's nice to be talking about a positive performance and a positive result to go with it. Because I think the fear for everyone was that after playing that well, we'd concede a late one and all that hard work would be for nothing. But it wasn't. And now we can look forward to Crewe with a little bit more optimism. As always, like I say, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please consider hitting the like button. Please continue to press subscribe. I will be back tomorrow evening with a match preview with a Crewe Alexander fan ahead of Saturday's big game, with myself, Ava, and I think Boz might even make an appearance this Saturday for a match day live. But until then, enjoy that journey home, Gills fans, if you're on a coach or a train. If you're indoors in the warm, enjoy your drink before you go to bed. And most importantly, up the Gills.